Hey guys, and welcome back to the ASX Investor channel, and welcome to another CEO interview. Today, we'll be diving back into the lithium sector. We all know about the excitement surrounding the broader EV battery supply chain and the excitement surrounding the lithium sector. We know there was a price signal at the back end of 2020, and it's continued to rise throughout this year. And today we're talking to a company that's really uniquely placed to be a beneficiary of this. They're a developer transitioning into actually being Australia's next lithium producer, coming online at the back end of 2022. And this is centered around their flagship Finniss Lithium Project. Today, we're really grateful to be joined by the CEO of Core Lithium, ASX CXO, Stephen Biggins. Stephen, busy past period, mate. How are you going? Welcome.
Good. Yeah, great. It's been a pretty exciting year for us. Must admit, it's been a journey to get here. We're certainly in the right place at the right time now with our Finniss Lithium Project, with it being fully funded, under construction, and less than 12 months from starting production of high quality lithium concentrates from Northern Australia.
Before we dive into all of the different pieces of news flow and the nuances surrounding that project, maybe give us the overview about Finniss itself. What is the Core Lithium story? Fully funded, as you mentioned, final investment decision's been ticked. Where are you positioned at the moment?
Yeah, well, the terrific thing we have with our Finniss Lithium Project is that it's a low-risk lithium project. It's fully approved. It's fully funded. It's under construction right now. We've got strong backing from both the Northern Territory and the federal government. We've got binding offtake in place with the largest lithium producer in the world, with Ganfeng. We've got offtake and sales agreements in place with Yahua that link us into Tesla's supply chain. And we're building one of the most capital efficient lithium projects around the globe, with only a startup capex of $90 million Australian, enabling us to produce close to 200,000 tonnes per annum of lithium concentrate per annum, and with prices well above $1,000 a tonne now and forecast into the future. We're in a really excellent position to start production of lithium within 12 months.
197,000 tonnes per annum, as you mentioned. You've already signed up a significant amount of that in terms of offtake. 80% of that's been taken by some of these big global names, Yahua and Ganfeng. Can you speak about the offtakes there and why you think you're so well positioned now on the back of those and the validation that brings to the project too?
Yeah, well, both those organisations, they've not only done their own assessment on the project and the quality of our product. They've both invested in the company quite significantly. So they've got strong faith, and they're networked all the way through sort of the battery mineral supply chain as well. And they are just two of the parties that we've been interacting with over a period of time. All the way through to auto manufacturers that are now really keen to secure supply of lithium. Knowing the growth rates for EVs around the globe now are sort of going through the roof, and that access to lithium and lithium supply is a really important part of governments and car manufacturers being able to meet their objectives for electrifying the global car fleet.
20% left of that stage one there. Was there the potential for further offtake? So you're looking to sell it at price at spot moving forward? What is the idea surrounding the rest of it?
Yeah, I don't think there's any rush to sort of enter into any additional binding contracts at this stage. There's certainly a lot of interest and offers from parties downstream, but we are seriously considering whether we start to position ourselves for spot sales. Particularly as we sort of start the look towards commissioning and so having the project ready to start commissioning. In the last half of next year, once we get into the new year, that's only a few months away.
And then I guess building on that, as you've mentioned, really fast route to market in terms of that first stage, but you've got quite a defined 1, 2, 3 in terms of the stages moving forward. So 1, bring production online. 2, then really look at the opportunity to expand the resource that you have. Then 3, potentially downstream, looking for lithium hydroxide. Can you walk us through those stages and what investors should be looking for on that journey?
Yeah, so beyond the 10-year mine life that we've defined to date as stage 1, which is producing high quality concentrates, lithium concentrates out of Darwin, we're investing now into laying the foundation for stage 2, So that's really enabling ourselves to be able to expand production and extend production from the project. And we've got every incentive, if you like, with high lithium prices, demand from a whole bunch of potential customers that missed out on offtake to date, for us to be pulling every lever we can as a company to enable us to sort of expand and bring forward production as quickly as we can. And the beauty of the project is with low startup capex, for as we've shown in our DFS, for less than $40 million Australian, potentially we can look to double our process plant capacity. So really excellent economics for the project as we look to expand towards stage 2. And then in regards to stage 3, we're already investing into feasibility studies to consider the potential to produce lithium hydroxide from Northern Australia, with strong support and letters of interest from the Northern Territory government for us to consider the Middle Arm sustainable manufacturing precinct adjacent to the project and to the city of Darwin, as well as government funding from the federal government to undertake those feasibility studies. And then there's a lot of interest again from the downstream strategics in how they might potentially be involved and partnering in delivering stage 3 alongside Core.
And digging a little bit deeper into those additional stages. So in terms of the resource drilling side, I heard recently that you've got around 4,000 assays awaiting. There's been plenty of exploration going on. Are you able to provide any insights or narrative about how the resource drilling is going and what investors should watch for coming out with those results?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of results that we're awaiting, and we should be starting to release pretty shortly. Like the rest of Australia, there's been a whole bunch of sort of assays sort of tied up in laboratories that are taking longer that we would hope. But we've had a number of drill rigs operating on site. We've still got an RC rig that's drilling right now. We'll probably have a short break for Christmas and New Year's, and then start the exploration and resource drilling into 2022. And we'd expect to have significant upgrades to resources and extension of mine of life as we sort of announce those results, and particularly with some pretty significant goals to position ourselves for expanding and extending the life of the project through next year.
I'm sure CXO investors will be happy to hear that and really looking forward to that moving forward. Just also wanted to spend a little bit of time thinking about the jurisdiction, the location. We know obviously Australia is a tier 1 jurisdiction, but Darwin itself has got great proximity towards the Asian region, particularly where a lot of those offtakes are going. You've achieved that major project status and the funding to go downstream too. Can you speak about why you think you're so well positioned to really capitalize on the current location of the Finniss Lithium Project?
Yeah, well, I think if we're talking about stage 1, it's our ability to tap straight into existing infrastructure that reduces the capex of the project. So, we can the Grants mine and processing facility is only 500 metres from the bitumen road that connects us all the way to Darwin Port. It also connects our workforce back to the suburbs of Darwin. So, the project's only 45 minutes daily commute from suburbs of Darwin, which means that it's been great in regards to attracting good people and recruiting to the project. So we've had a lot of success there. As we're expecting, we're an hour's drive from the international airport. Unimportantly, I think from an ESG perspective and emissions profile, we're investing in additional capex which is within that $89 million number, to connect to the Northern Territory power grid, and then that gives us the ability to contract and source renewable generated power for the project and low emission gas-fired power for the project. So all of those things work in favour in regards to capital efficiency, emissions efficiency, and actually sort of been able to sort of manage and attract in a sustainable workforce.
And obviously that's all culminated in the opportunity for Core to be that next lithium producer. We do know that obviously there's a bit of a transition in terms of share price as companies go from developer and prospective all the way through to producer. CXO has had a phenomenal uplift like many of the companies in the space, over 400% up over the past year. Would love just to hear some reflections on the current share price discussion and what you think investors should look for, particularly as you transition into that production type of mindset.
Yeah, I would think that's what investors should be thinking about is considering Core being valued as a producer in 12 months from where we are now. I don't think there's any producer on the ASX, lithium producer on the ASX, got a market cap of less than $6 billion. And globally, lithium producers are being valued at something between 15 and 20 times EBITDA. And with lithium prices, contracted lithium prices, and I just saw the latest piece that was, I think, sort of came out, with contracting prices somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 US a ton. If you plug those numbers into our financial model, there's a huge amount of upside.
And obviously there's been a lot of excitement on the lithium side due to the EV adoption and everything play out there, but you obviously do have uranium tenements as well as a gold project. Are you able to provide any upsides on the other insights on the other side of the coin as well?
Yeah, there might be some really good timing for us to crystallise value from our uranium assets. Obviously, uranium price is increasing. We think it's probably timing now as we focus on delivery and the construction of Finniss Lithium Project that that sort of time to sort of diverge those assets as Core focuses on development and delivery of the Finniss Lithium Project. So I'd certainly suggest that there might be something to watch out for is sort of corporate news around our uranium assets in the first quarter of next year.
It's been a phenomenal past period for ASX CXO. Core Lithium's excitingly positioned to really transition next year into that next Australian lithium producer. We know that there's a passionate retail investor base as well. Did you have any final reflections that you wanted to share with those longer term shareholders who have supported the journey, or some prospective shareholders who might be looking at Core Lithium now?
Yeah, I'd certainly like to thank those that have been shareholders for the company, their support along the way. Even though we've had a very good year through 2021, it's been a 6-year journey to get to that point, and we've had some really strong and patient supporters to get there, to give us the support and the courage to sort of be persistent with the project to get it to a point where it is now. I think as we sort of move through construction and into production, I think there's a really sort of significant positive ride ahead for our shareholders.
That is the Core Lithium story. It's ASX CXO. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Feel free to share it out. We make daily videos as well, so make sure you've subscribed and turn your bell notifications on. That's Stephen Biggins, the CEO of Core Lithium. It was an absolute pleasure. Looking forward to catching up again, and we'll see where Core heads moving forward from here, mate.
Yeah, great. Appreciate the opportunity to connect with your network.